720 hours a year. That's how much time the average business owner loses to admin work every single year. Email, calendar, scheduling, managing to-do lists, the CRM, following up. That is 18 full work weeks stolen from building your business. 18 full weeks in a year. And about a year ago, I got tired of it. Decided wanted to start to build an executive assistant AI that could help us to handle it. And finally, he is here.
You're listening to the AI Convergence Podcast, presented by Voxe AI, where AI, business, and mindset converge.
Hey, Jarvis, can you help me be a superhero today?
Matthew, every day is a chance to sport your metaphorical cape. Let's break down today's mission objectives. Time management. Stay laser focused on your schedule. You've got a podcast review this afternoon. Prep any notes you need ahead of time. Task prioritization. Knock out those high priority tasks first. Updating the voice agent and completing architecture are on today's list. Mindset. Keep a positive attitude, even if the world throws a few plot twists your way. Communication. Need an email drafted or a meeting set up with Tony Stark? I'm here for those too. Recharge. Every superhero needs downtime. Schedule a quick break to recharge your powers. Is there a particular area you need a sidekick for? Or shall we unleash your full potential and go save the day?
Stand by. I'm going to need some help managing my calendar.
Standing by, Matthew. Whenever you're ready to organize your calendar or anything else that pops up, just say the word.
So what is everything that he's referencing there?
So he's referencing my calendar. So we have a post podcast review meeting, and then my task lists of things that are due today. I have a couple of voice agents got to finish and building architecture for another. So yeah, he has access to my task list, to-do list, my CRM, my calendar, and my email. So yeah, he can pretty much manage all of those things, which are the majority of what takes so long. What was it that they said? Executives spend 28% of their work week on email. 28%. Of course, I believe it. Yeah. That's probably, what I was spending too. And so AI can return 20 to 40% of that time. This one's crazy. Knowledge workers spend 21.5 hours a week in meetings, and only 50% of them are valuable. And that's coming from Otter.ai, the one that kind of listens in on your meetings.
Yeah. That has actual data.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's real data there. Only 50% are valuable. I would have to say that. People like to have
I would say probably less than that.
Probably. Yeah. People love meetings, just to have meetings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let's kick in here. So last week we discussed voice AI, 18 more appointments for one of our clients that took on voice AI just in the first week. This week, what about your workload? So we built an AI COO, which actually is called COO Elite. It's a voice-based AI agent trained on your business, manages email, calendars, tasks, proactively, sends you suggestions, a brief in the morning, in the evening too, if you want it, 24/7. And this is now what we're beginning to use. It's been something we've been working on for, what is this, 4th iteration? I think 4.0. Yeah, it's we wanted it to be perfect.
Yeah.
So it's taken a year, and now we're offering it to our clients.
Dude, but where we started and where we are now, it's just
yeah.
Like when we started, there's no way that's what we thought we were gonna build.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Like pasting together, make workflows and N8N stuff, and crappy API connections and whatever. Now it's so much better. So yeah, we're really excited about that. But what does that mean? Let's talk about agentics, agents, workflow. This is just the beginning of a whole new world that
Mhm.
is going to be coming out. And, obviously we're shamelessly plugging our own products because, again, we're awesome. Don't forget McDonald's, Chick-fil-A. Listen to our last podcast.
We're coming for you.
No, we want you to come for us.
Yeah, exactly.
And but the regular business owner, small business owner, medium business owner, you're so stuck in your own world. I get it. I've been there. At times we're there. It just
Mhm.
happens that our world is AI. And you can't see the forest through the trees. So, but we've on a daily basis, we talk to business owners that manage multi-million-dollar businesses on paper calendars or Excel spreadsheets because they haven't taken the time. And so what's important to us is to bring that awareness to all of you out there that are listening that agentic, right? Generative intelligence, agentic AI agents are coming to the workforce. We want to be one of the first ones that helps make it easily accessible, easily usable for business owners, professionals, executives, high performers, and to be able to start really having. There's so much. I was doing a training class yesterday, and we were talking. It was in front of a whole bunch of accountants, and I was training them on how to use Claude to analyze spreadsheets and large data sets, etc. But when I first started out, I had to help them with the mindset shift. It's because how most people use AI today is, hey, ask a question, right? And get an answer. What can I do this or can I do that? Or, give me a marketing report or an analysis or deep research or whatever it is. And it brings you back that information, whatever that is that you're looking for, but you still have to do the work, right? The next phase where the mindset shift has to happen is AI agents actually doing the work for you, right? Like, Jarvis, I named him Jarvis, he can ask him for deep research. Give me some deep research on this. Go out, search the web, compose a report for me. And then, okay, great. Email that to Christian. So that way, or give me a report on our new client. Great. Email that to our project manager, Michael. So it'll do all these things. Or, hey, you know what? I need that for my AI class. As a matter of fact, I forgot to schedule that. Put that in my calendar. Can you please do a new appointment for me? Put it for this day, this time, whatever. Invite X amount of people to it. It automatically sends the email, sends the invites. That there is such a huge time saver. And it's over the past year with all of the betas that we've demoed them to people, and it's like the biggest like mind blow. They're like, this is awesome. You know how much time that would save me?
Mhm.
But the thing is that we are so not used to even having that technology that even when we would have some test some of the stuff out, they wouldn't use it because you just don't even know what it's like.
Yep.
Mhm.
You don't even, it's like how many times when smartphones were coming around, I don't know about you guys, but I remember leaving my phone at home all the time, because you had the phone,
Yeah.
but it still was kind of like, oh yeah, it's my smartphone. It
Mhm.
wasn't like part of your everyday.
Yeah.
Now, it's like, it's, what do they say? It's every person's like 3 feet from you at all times.
Yeah.
Kind of a
Can't
thing,
leave home without it.
which is really sad actually. Yeah, so AI agents. So let's talk about the tax. What's the admin tax here?
Well, I guess taking a step back real quick for people that don't know what an agent is,
Hmm.
as opposed to like
That's a good-
regular
that's
Chat
good.
GPT, how would you describe it to them?
Yeah, see, here we go. Again, me being stuck in the world thinking everybody know what I'm
No,
talking
no.
about. Okay, so an agent is, so you have AI, you have ChatGPT, Claude, Anthropic, Gemini, etc. And that is an intelligence that you can communicate with. And so those are basically answer engines, if you will. Agentic AI are in agents that are powered with that intelligence, but built with the capabilities to be able to actually do the work for you. So you can connect with any software platform that has an open API connection or the ability to pull data from and put data to. You can build an agent, connect with it, and have it do that work for you. And so basically, in ChatGPT, bless their heart, poor Sam Altman. 5.1 was so shitty that in 2 weeks now they're pushing out 5.2. Did you know that?
Yeah.
I heard that.
That's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Got an email yesterday.
Yeah,
They just
code red.
released.
yes,
I think-
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need code red
Yeah.
because ChatGPT is crap.
Yeah.
It's actually gotten worse. I much prefer dealing with the 4.0, 4.5 models than the
Yeah.
new ones.
Mhm.
And so, but either way, I was teaching a class on that, and ChatGPT just decided to forget that it had the ability to make connections. But they're trying to roll that stuff out too. Google as well, because Google has their whole connected suite and everything. So basically, an agent is an intelligence that you can talk to, and then it can go and do some stuff. I think most people will get that, but I'm going to make it even more simple, right? I love to bring this down to like the human level, because whenever I teach prompting, I really just hammer home, how would you tell a human to go do something, right? Would you say, go do that, go get that for me? Or, would you give them details? And the same thing with agents. So an agent is just like, imagine, it's kind of like the commercial that we filmed. It's like having your 24/7 executive assistant like following you around every day, that has access, that can do your emails, that can book things for you.
Mhm.
Like have you seen those movies or those commercials where this executive is walking around and this agent or the assistant's right next to him?
Yep.
And he's like, yes, sir. Yes. He's like, do this, do that, do that. And he or she is like, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Like that's pretty much basically it. I think that's a good visual of
Yeah,
what an
it
AI
is.
agent is. And there's so many more things that you can apply that to, but in the context of what we're going over today. So
Yeah. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I think it's super useful. I tried going back to ChatGPT, their agent mode to try and what did I try to do? Oh, shop. So I gave it a shopping list and I told it to go to Sam's Club and purchase all these things from my shopping list. And it did it, but it just took so long. It would just had to log in, and then it had to prompt me to log in, and then it was like, okay, pick that, takes 5 minutes. Pick that, takes 5. So going back to ChatGPT, they definitely have to step up their game when it comes to the agents. But
yeah,
the power is there. You can see it, like the ability to just one day be like, okay, pick up these groceries for me, put it in the list, have it ordered. Is going to be so helpful.
yeah, or doing your grocery shopping for you according to your plan.
Mhm.
Tell us a little bit about the agent that you've built, you use.
Yeah. So I think the way people should think about an agent is, does the AI have tools? Because that's really the differentiator. Like, can it do something? Like, the more tools it has, the more agentic it is, the more it can like do stuff on its own, like autonomously. Like I honestly would consider Claude Desktop an agent because of how like the website report.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally a job, full task.
Yeah.
And it goes out, uses different tools, the website or the scraping and like all the different things that it can do in just desktop itself.
Yeah.
6 months ago we didn't have that. Like
Mm-mm.
a year ago, it could use the internet. That's cool. But then again, you couldn't really trust what it was saying.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like really detailed. It uses these different cool tools to do certain things. So currently, and then it has the ability to make docs and the other
Yeah.
tools that Claude has that ChatGPT just doesn't have. It's so I consider Claude Desktop an agent. I mean, it can't do like, then you get into specific agentic things. Like
Yeah.
it's not your COO, but it can be really useful for a lot of things. So my agent does it basically tracks all of my fitness stuff. Creates my workout plans, dynamic. So if I miss any lifts or my weights are changing or I'm getting bad sleep. It can see my body scans. So if things in my body fat percentage is going up maybe, or the opposite, I'm doing really well, it sees that, and it's always changing and iterating my future workout plan so I can get to my goals in a certain time frame. And if we're not on track, it's going to be like, okay, you either need to pick it up here or we got to move the deadline out. um so yeah,
And
I love it.
You
That's
just said
cool.
that it helped you
Yeah.
recently
Yeah.
make
In
gains.
2 weeks. So I put it live 2 weeks ago. So I've used it for 2 weeks every day for all my workouts. And in 2 weeks, I dropped 3% body fat from 12 to 9. And then I gained, I think it was like 6 pounds. I went from 182 to 188 in 2
muscle.
weeks.
Just doing what it's telling you to do. Yeah, because it
That's
has all
crazy.
the data.
And I
yeah.
hate it, dude. But like before, I'm like doing my own routine. Like I already know what I'm going to do. I'm sometimes lazy. Now it's like, oh my God, I have to do 10 reps 5 times. Come on. At this weight, I'm like, whatever.
But now
And
you
it's
know it
like
works.
always pushing me.
Yeah. Well, because it also has your. Did you upload your DNA? Your epigenetic?
It doesn't
to
have
that?
my DNA.
It doesn't
yet,
have your
no.
epigenetics. Okay, but yeah,
That-
I mean,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
It has enough right now
Yeah, it
to
does.
be really deadly.
But think about it, like
It can be better.
think about and this isn't a scarcity thing for like fitness professionals out there. This is an empowering thing.
Oh, for sure.
Right? Like
Mhm.
having a tool that you own that because you can't be that fitness trainer, at your clients, wake up in the morning, hey, do this. They're eating that. Hey, you got to eat that. No, that. Like you're only
Yeah.
seeing them once a day or 3 times a week at
Yeah.
the gym. So don't think of this as like, oh my God,
Mhm.
Trey's AI is going to take my job. Well, no, because I think you do end up planning on selling this thing.
Oh, yeah.
Like, no, Trey's AI is actually going to make you eat the better fitness, trainer,
Mhm.
right? Because now they're going to be able to you're going to be able to be with them digitally and help them through the whole way. And then it's just, you're just with them in the gym, but every other time they're tracking their food, making the gains. I mean, this is awesome.
Yeah, I designed it so it will take you from the top 10% to the top 1%, which is a really big difference. But it's really just a lot of small habit changes in
Mhm.
being just doing everything at the highest level, which takes a lot of cognitive power. You have to think about what you can eat, when you can eat, when you're going to work out, timing everything. It takes
Mhm.
a lot on your mind. But
Yep.
for my agent, it's like I don't have to think about anything. I just follow the recipe. And then the coolest part, one of my favorite parts, is so dynamic. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. It will give me 5 different suggestions of what I could do in lieu of that to
Mm.
keep me on my trajectory.
Yeah. So it doesn't have to be done this way, but you can still achieve the same goal,
Yep.
maybe doing it a little different. Yeah.
But to your point, like that's huge for any fitness professional, anyone that's trying to make or help somebody get to the next level, because a lot of your job is really useful for actually helping them in the gym, making sure their form is correct and stuff. That's what AI can't do right now.
Yeah.
And it's like that's a huge part of your job, but it also makes your job a lot easier because if they're eating the right food, they're getting the right sleep.
Yeah.
They're in the gym. It's just gonna be way easier.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so much
That's all
easier.
you
You're
have
not
to
gonna
worry about,
complain
right?
as
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
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 I mean, because like nutrition and your daily habit tasks, that's 80% of any kind of improvement. 20% is the physical workout, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really cool. And like, like I train Jarvis to do too. So he'll identify my day. If I have a really packed day, he's programmed now to build in mindfulness breaks.
Mm.
To be like,
Yeah.
hey, here's a suggestion. You have 3 back-to-back meetings, and then you have another one that's 30 minutes after that. How about we take 15 minutes in there and just to kind of ground out and mindfulness? And that's super
Love that.
important, so it can
Yeah.
see your day, can identify blind spots, the same thing with fitness, it can do with your day. And it's getting smarter and smarter, and you just kind of like trust it. And one thing I wanted to touch on too, you make a good point about cognitive load. We talk a lot about, like when we do marketing and how much cognitive load is on a person whenever they're trying to figure out what you do, like what your USP is, what your offer is, right?
Mm.
And studies have shown that the higher cognitive load, the less likely they are to buy, or, or to take the next step.
Mm.
So you have to reduce that cognitive load because
Mhm.
people are just like, and then they go,
Yep.
they leave. Well, that's the same thing with everything. Like the night before, I probably do it 4 or 5 days out of the week. I will, before I go to bed, I walk through my closet and I'm like, okay, all right, I'll wear that and that and that tomorrow. And then I go to bed.
Mhm.
And then tomorrow I already know what I'm wearing. I don't have to
Mhm.
spend any cognitive load on that.
Yeah.
And there's the famous example of Steve Jobs, who always, wore a black shirt and jeans,
Mhm.
right? And the reason why he did that was so that way he didn't have to spend any cognitive energy
Yep.
on figuring out what to wear. And so that's a great way to think about agents and AI
Yeah.
is that it can reduce that cognitive load so that way you're not having to think about it, right? Especially as business owners and executives and people in positions that manage people or manage multiple things, because you're spending so much time solutionizing. If you can just take some of that off of your plate, right? And to be able to just do it for you, now you're freed up
Mhm.
doing so many other things. I took a suggestion. Well, I'm doing it again today and tomorrow. And then it was 2 weeks ago. It was prior to Thanksgiving. I took a suggestion from Claude and put all of my time together. It's like, if you do these things and you get them done and out of the way by the day, you're going to have a much more enjoyable time on your
Mhm.
vacation because it's going to reduce. And I was like, okay, I'll just do it. And I did. And as soon as I got home, I felt so much better, like the day before we left for Thanksgiving. And what I
Mhm.
experienced is that I didn't have to worry about anything.
Mm.
And so because I didn't have to worry about anything, I started getting more ideas.
Mm.
It's like my
Yeah.
mind was opened up to be more creative instead of just solutionizing and kind of in fight or flight mode, because as business owners, when you're doing that, you're in fight or flight mode. You're trying to figure shit out and make shit happen. And so that's a whole nother benefit that we didn't even plan on talking about today,
Mhm.
but it's a huge one.
But why do we default to that? We're always like trying to control, and we're always thinking about all these things. And I think the main reason is because we all know that what you do today will be reaped in the future.
Hmm.
So you want to be doing all the good habits, you want to be doing all that. And it's not easy. You have to think about stuff. You have to, like, the way you present yourself. You're thinking about what you're going to wear.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. You need to get your projects done. You're thinking about that. And if you're not doing your projects, you're thinking about it in the back. And now it's kind of stressing you out and you can't
Mhm.
think freely. But the best part about the agentic stuff is if you design it properly, you don't, like, you're in good hands and that you're set for the future. So if you follow what the AI is doing or you let it do its job for you, you
Mhm.
know that those are good habits and you don't have to, like, it takes that completely off your mind, because the alternative is you just don't think about anything and then you're stressed because you're not doing anything. You're like,
Yeah.
procrastination. That's procrastination.
Yeah.
You're like ignoring that it exists.
Yep.
So that's not an alternative.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
That's a good.
I think that's the best part, because
Hmm.
yeah, if you can trust the fact that it's doing everything at the highest level for you on your behalf, granted, it has to be designed properly and you have to be
Yeah.
doing the right tasks with it. But that, I mean, if I could just give that experience or feeling to everybody, they would be like, what I was doing yesterday compared to today is, I feel so much different.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
It's just,
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, with like your workout agent, I mean, the hardest part about working out is like, it's so, especially if you're starting, it's so abstract.
yeah.
And you're like, okay, what do I do? Okay, I got to do chest today. Let's just do a bunch of random chest exercises with no rhyme or reason. And it takes a lot of cognitive load, as you were saying, Matt, like to just sit down, log it, plan out the workouts, when yeah, you have an agent that, if you trust it, you just wake up and you follow that plan to a T. You're done. That's it. You go on with your day. You don't have to think about anything else. It logs all your data, and it iterates and gives you progress and analysis and updates. Man, that's such a weight off your shoulders. And then you see the results, and that's it. And then you can just focus on other things. And I like that that thought of like how much creativity is being suppressed by all the fight or flight activities that are going on in your body.
Oh,
you have no ability to be creative and just take a breath.
Yeah. The cortisol spike.
Mm-hmm.
We have our mascot in the studio today. Milo. Yeah. So yeah, don't worry, Milo. I'll never use AI robot to walk you. That'll be my personal.
It's part of the joys of life.
Task. Yeah. So and that's a huge thing too, and because I like we're going down this path, because cortisol spike really dampens everything. When you have that cortisol load in your system, it shuts down everything else that isn't important to survival. So it actually does inhibit your ability to think creatively, because you're not activating that side of your brain, or those sections of your brain. You're not taking care of your health, because your reproductive organs and your digestive organs faculties are shut down. You're not able to exhibit empathy because you just don't have time for empathy when in fight or flight. That's not part of your body that happens. So these are all part of your sympathetic nervous system that gets turned on, and you're not you don't have heart and mind coherence. Mm-hmm. And so as a leader and as a business owner, it's really important to be able to be in those spaces, so that way when things happen, you can think about things objectively, right? You can think, put yourself in someone else's shoes, right? And you can only do that whenever you're more grounded. And so AI agents being able to takes a lot of this stuff off of your plate, knowing that it's done. Again, it has to be built right. And it has to be trained right, and has to have the proper context of what it's supposed to do. And it has to know what performance really is, and what those ideas of performance should be. Mm-hmm. So that way it can give you the right suggestions. But once that's in place, and then you begin to trust it, like you were saying, trust comes after using it a few times, and then being like, oh, damn, that's pretty okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's cool. I didn't think about that, or man, I didn't have to worry about that, or man, look at how much time it saves. So then the more you use it, and this isn't about becoming dependent on technology in the way that we're dependent on our phones, and we have this dopamine hit every single time. It's leveraging the technology, AI agents, agentic intelligence, if you will, to so that way we can delegate, we can offload. And that's, I think, one of the things that we were going to be talking about too is like delegation, so like we're moving into a world now where delegating is not always going to equal passing it on to a human for someone to do something. We're going to be delegating these tasks to an AI. And then, like you said, that frees us up to be able to do, so there are a couple of notes here of like what it can't do. So like what it doesn't do, high stakes client relationships, right? Because that's what you should do, right? Complex strategy decisions. Well, that's what you can do, now that, and you can use AI after feeding it in to kind of, identify things, but being strategic, nuanced negotiations, 80% of admin. Well, that AI can do that and can crush that. But now you can be the leader, you can be the passion entrepreneur, you can be all of these things. And you can also be more present for yourself and your family outside of work, because, you feel more confident that these things are being taken care of. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing that really prohibits entrepreneurs, especially starting off, from really succeeding. Is, I was a solopreneur for a while, and having to wake up and answer emails and do all the admin tasks, answer calls, on a whim, which takes you out of your flow. All that stuff just prohibits you from doing the things that you're really passionate about and what you want to be doing in the business, the strategic planning, the creativity, the handshakes with clients and things like that. You don't have the energy after, what is the stat? 28% of your day is spent doing all these admin tasks.
Yeah.
That's a quarter or a third of your day, or a quarter if you're working 24/7.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just it's tough to be able to manage that. And I think that's where the mindset just really gets deteriorated, is because you're having to deal with this urgency, this feeling of urgency all the time. You're reacting to clients yelling at you, or something going wrong, or a employee messing up, something like that. I mean, so if you can take that off your plate, that just frees up so much time, and I think that'll empower business owners to really step up and do what they're passionate about.
Yeah. And I even want to go back to something you touched on, that we have an AI agent that can do all of these in-depth, detailed online SEO, AEO performance reports for our prospects and our clients. I mean, that legitimately used to be 3 or 4 hours, like, out of a day. You'd have to do research, and and there's platforms out there that will do things and they'll scan, but they still didn't do that great. And now, so for like our sales reps, these reports are really important to them to help them, show the pain points and give a real true picture to the clients. So that way they have a better position and opportunity to provide value. And then also, hopefully, through that value, they decide that they want to work with us. Well, and now that doesn't take so many hours, we were the kind of progression was it had to be done manually with a little bit of, whatever scan tools and whatnot. Then it was, then there's some tools that kind of would get you 70% there. And so we were using those. But the hiccup is that the sales reps didn't have access to these tools. So they were still depending on me or someone to be able to pull that report for them and to be able to look at it, because not all of the reports were always right. So I would go through them and be like, okay, I do a little bit of research myself. That's actually not accurate. And so then I would pull another report. I would write notes in there and saying that, bringing things to light. Well, now with the agent does all of that, like literally all of it, and pulls up the report. So now the sales reps can do that themselves. So, like, for us and for any of you out there who might be in the same position where your sales or your prospecting depends on doing really good research, we all know how long that research takes. And so now you can use an agent to do that, and to be able to provide the reports, not just Chat GPT, because then you have to take the information, copy, and then paste it into a nice report or XLS document or whatever, but actually taking it, putting it in a report that's branded, literally ready to download and just send. And so, now that saves for us, sometimes I wasn't able to pull these reports for the sales reps until the next day, so that delays being able to get back and et cetera. So, like, if I was to do a reflective analysis on how long it would take sometimes to get these reports, and tie that to any of the clients that maybe we didn't close, even though we do have a really high close rate, how much money could that have cost us, right? And so how much money is it going to make us even moving forward? Because you have the whole in marketing speed to lead and all that stuff's great, but then you have all the other things. Once you have their attention, then you have all the other things too that you can automate. And so that's just another example of how we're also using now agents to be able to empower our sales reps, so that way they're less dependent on us, and so that way they can go out, and then we know that our brand is being represented properly, because one of the reasons why I never depended on most of those canned tools was because some of the information on them wasn't correct, right? So how does that look whenever you're actually presenting to a business owner that might know their stuff, right? A lot of them don't because they don't have time, but some of them do. And they're looking at the report and they're like, well, that's not right. Well, that just made you look like an idiot.
Mhm.
And so I always wanted to have my hands on that report before going out and presenting it, because that's one of your first opportunities to wow your prospect. Now I've been able to take that off of my plate. I don't have to worry about that anymore. And now as we start to get more sales reps and do more leads and inbound, that's a huge percentage of time that I don't have to worry about. Reduction of cognitive load, because I can trust that the information is being presented in the way that our brand should be represented. So yeah, there's just a ton of ways to do this. Now, I wanted to pull up something. We're talking about agents. So overall current state of 2025, and there was a saying, I think it was in our state of the address. It was what was it? Darn it, I have to remember it. Do you guys remember? It was like, it's not about when AI matters. It's about, will you be around when it does?
Mhm.
Right. So basically,
Yeah.
the point is, a lot of people are waiting, like, maybe it doesn't matter so much now. Like,
Mm-hmm.
sure, I could benefit from it, but I can kind of wait.
Mhm.
Well, when it does matter, if you haven't been doing what you're supposed to do now, well, you're not even going to be around. Like the AI agents, the AI search engines aren't even going to recognize who you are, right? And so here currently in 2025, it says 85% of organizations have integrated AI agents in at least one workflow. I would love to see what report that was, though. It said 85%. And
They're definitely considering GPT.
yeah,
Yeah.
they have to. 78% of organizations are using AI in at least one business function, up from 55% in 2023. I would say if they're considering, which they should, voice agents, that probably voice agents has been, I think, the largest adopted agentic technology.
Mhm.
So that could be skewing that a bit.
Mhm.
79% of organizations have implemented AI agents at some level, with 96% of IT leaders planning to expand their AI agent implementations during 2025. So that's overall. And whenever you see stats like overall adoption, you're really thinking about, they're including Amazon, Google, they're including these huge businesses,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So that is kind of skewed. As far as SMBs, small business specifically, AI adoption jumped from 39% in 2024 to 55% in 2025. I would say that could be realistic. Adoption is especially strong among companies with 10 to 100 employees, where usage jumped from 47% to 68% year over year. 68% of small business owners say they're already using AI, which basically means ChatGPT, with another 9% planning to start within the next year. 75% of SMBs are at least experimenting with AI, with growing businesses leading at 83%. Now, I mean, I would say that I would really love to see the sample data that they use from this, because in our experience, I mean, we talk to a lot of businesses.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I would say, and I teach a lot of classes in front of a lot of business leaders, and every time I ask people to raise their hand who uses AI every single day or at least once a week in their business, only less than 20% raise their hand. And businesses that we talk to, our sales reps talk to every single day, they're not using it. They might be using ChatGPT to help with like social media content or stuff. So kind of take these numbers with a grain of salt. But this is what I kind of want to share with the viewers. By 2027, AI agents will automate 15 to 50% of business processes. and that was from Warmly. And Gartner projects that by 2028, approximately 33% of enterprise software will include agentic AI. So the agents are coming.
Hmm.
What's the agent in the Matrix?
Agent Smith.
Agent Smith.
They're coming
Yeah.
for us.
Agent Smith is coming for you to help you, though.
To help you. These are good agents.
Yeah, these are good agents. Yeah, Agent Smith is coming to help you.
I mean, it's inevitable, right? Yeah, I mean, nobody wants to be doing these mundane tasks, and talked about it in the first pod, like how much that's going to free up just the whole human race, and if we want to,
Mhm.
scale it and extend it to that kind of that vision. But yeah, if you're not implementing it now, you're going to
Yeah.
fall behind, and people's businesses' performances, your competitors' performance is going to increase, while you're just kind of staying stagnant and figuring out if you want to implement AI. Now is a perfect time because people are still figuring it out.
Yep. So, shameless plug. If you'd like to see what we're doing with agentic technology and try out our COO Elite, it is going to be live and ready for beta testers January 15th.
What are some of the just real quick, the core capabilities of the
So there's a few that
Elite
are
AI?
rolling out in phase 2, but right now, currently, it can completely manage your email. So when I say manage, what does that mean? You can have it check your email. You can edit emails and reply to emails. So hey, what do I have any new emails over the last 2 hours since I've been in meetings? Yes, you do, blah, 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 gives you a summary. Say, okay, hey, reply to John Doe there, let them know, blah, blah, blah. Great. Here's your draft. Would you like me to send it? Yes, send. It's done. You can train it in your voice. So emails, right? Calendars. Calendars was a huge thing. So booking appointments, editing, changing schedules, and then checking to see what's on your calendar, right? And so you can also link it with your CRM or other things, and you do that through your calendar function. It's pretty basic, but basically the AI agent can read your calendar, send out invites, edit, add descriptions, anything that you need for calendar functions. And that's with the Google Workspace and also Microsoft. So both of those. And we rolled both of those out because that's what most business owners are using. They're either using Google Suite or Microsoft. The other one is tasks and to-dos. And this was a huge one because even for me, I don't use tasks in Google. Like I'm old school. I love writing my stuff down on a piece of paper and checking it off as I go. But being able to quickly keep track of it was a huge thing. So through Microsoft, so Microsoft has Microsoft To-Dos, and Google has Google Tasks, and so the AI can manage those for you. So you can set due dates on them, priority levels, etc. So just like it referenced one of some to-do tasks that I had for finishing some of the tasks that I needed to do today. You can have it check your tasks. Hey, what do I have that's due today, or what tasks do I have on my list that are still pending, or create a new task for me. So those are the three main things that it can do. Also, your contact lists. So in Microsoft and Google, you have contacts. So you can have a contact added. You can edit a contact. You can, hey, send an email to Trey Mossman for me, letting him know, blah, 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 right? You can also take pictures. So this was actually kind of challenging to build in on a mobile device, was taking a picture of a business card and then having the AI to be able to read it, and then taking that information and adding it to your contact database or sending an email to them or whatever. And that was a bit of a challenge because the images that you take on your phone are .hec or IHEC, HESE. And so the AI couldn't read those. So ChatGPT, Claude can't read that format. So we had to build a conversion Python script in there that would take the image, it then converts it into a JPEG. So then the AI can actually read it and pull data from it.
Nice.
But it can do that, which is a pretty cool party trick. You're like, hey, give me your business card, take a picture of it. And then it's like, oh, I have, John Doe at blah, 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 blah. Would you like me to save the contact info or send him an email? Shoot him an email and save him to my contact list. And so we'll do that. And then things that are rolling out. So accountability. Also, so you get a morning brief too. So every morning you can set the time. The AI will email you or send you a text message of, hey, good morning. Today is so-and-so. This is what you have on your list to do. And so this way you can kind of get your morning brief in reality. And then things that are rolling out is things that we can do, but that's on a custom case-by-case basis. So if you have a custom CRM, like one of our clients uses Bullhorn. So we built their agent to API directly into Bullhorn. So their agent can also, in addition to everything we talked about, can also manage calendars, appointments, tasks, and contacts within Bullhorn and get all that data from there. Also, if you want it to API into your QuickBooks, so that way you can see financial information, gather information like that, create invoices, add contacts to your QuickBooks, send out invoices. You could do all that through the agent. And so then the other thing that we're rolling out to the public is going to be mindfulness stuff. Like that's a big thing. Funny, quite a few people ask for that. I need someone to just remind me to take a breath, right? Kind of a day. Yeah. And so that's where I started building that in. I'm testing it on mine first before I roll it out. So right now, those are the things there's a lot of other things that it can do because the intelligence is there. The agentic technology is there to be able to manage multiple tools like you spoke about before. And when we talk about tools, we're talking about APIs. However, it has the ability to get really bloated really quickly, to do things that it really doesn't need to do. And so I'm going to be focusing it in just on those like admin tasks. Like if you had that executive assistant that was there from the time you got into work to the time you left, that was handling those mundane things, write this down, take it to do, send this to so-and-so, check my email, manage my calendar. It does all of that flawlessly, 100% accurate every single time. And it has persistent memory. So you onboard with it. It learns about your business, who you are, your business, et cetera, your goals, those types of things. So it can kind of help you and it guides you through questions. And then it has this persistent memory. So it's constantly learning about you and your business. And I also built it out in a very similar interface like Claude and ChatGPT. So this way it's a familiar interface that people can use. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think the coolest thing is that a lot of it is voice-based. So as you were describing it, you're talking to it. You get a cheeky little guy like Jarvis, to chat with all day, and he's rearranging things. He's summarizing things for you. He's sending out emails, in your tone of voice. So I think that's really cool for entrepreneurs that are on the go, who are really busy, which most are. You're just speaking to it and, rearranging your day, figuring out your day as you go. And it's helping you through that. And it's trained on your company too. It's not just, flat data. It's actually, like you said, learning about your company, and getting trained on all that valuable data. So.
Yeah. And also I am training it on the EOS business optimization strategy. So those of you that aren't familiar with EOS, the book Traction, because we use it and we're beginning to use that methodology more. And it's just a really good one. So kind of like your business consultant and also the personality. So you can currently choose from 5 different voices. So you can name your agent, however you want to name him. You can choose the voice that you like. And also you can match that voice with 5 different personalities. So there's different types of personalities, and Jarvis is one of them. If you like the Jarvis So yeah, you can kind of personalize it to how you like. If you like someone being, mean to you with a British accent and, like cracking the whip all the time, you could do that too.
I want a little Jamaican guy that just, hey man, good morning, man.
That's a good idea. I should
Oh
add
my
that one.
gosh,
Yeah. Hey man.
Got some emails today, man.
I'm just working, and I just hear this guy over here telling Christian his emails.
He finishes the task. Yo, man, kicking ass today, man. Hey.
I love it. You guys need to build that for me.
That's a
please.
great idea. I'm going to put that on the map. Right on. Well, anything to before we wrap up?
Yeah, I just want to talk a little bit about like just use cases that what we do, and maybe something that people aren't thinking about, because you have oftentimes agentic AI is thought of as crushing all mundane tasks, right? Which it can do, absolutely. But now you're just thinking about it like a workflow. Like the workflows have been around forever.
Mhm.
Machine learning, just people can develop if, then, but, etc. And so tasks have been able to be automated this whole time. The real difference is that with AI, it's like actually smart workflows that it can do, which is great. It's doing an amazing job at admin tasks. But we use it differently too, because Matt and I are using it literally for like the cognitive things,
Mhm.
like things beyond it. And really, like with pretty much everything that we do, we're using AI to help us be the best version of ourselves, create the best products, stuff like that. Find our blind spots. And just one thing really quickly is, I've really taken time back, step back, and just thinking about what are all like the cool what's all the cool technology that I have access to that I'm not maximizing. One is my Mac. Like Apple has been around for a while. They have really cool technology. I have no idea 90% of the things that the Mac can do. I just have no
It's true.
idea.
Yeah.
So what do? Claude can control your Mac.
Yeah.
Pretty much everything. So I tell Claude, hey, I've had this Mac forever. I have no idea how to use half of the stuff. All I know is that I have an empty homepage and I can click into Chrome and do my work, whatever. So I had Claude ask me questions, and Claude already knows a lot about me. So it knows the kind of work I do, it knows the things, my hobbies, and everything like that. And it literally, I didn't do anything. I answered its questions. And I'm watching it update my Mac, changing stuff. Like, it's the coolest thing ever.
That is cool.
Like, I would just encourage anyone to go and do that.
I didn't know it could tap in like that, so it could rearrange like your homepage.
100%. You
change your
put Claude.
background,
You put Claude into your terminal, and it can do anything on your computer. There's very few things that are security restricted to where you have to do it. It walks you through how to do it, 5 steps.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
How cool.
So like reframing it like that, thinking about, what are you not maximizing? Because there's a lot of technology. Because the old days, I would have to sit in YouTube and literally watch like hours of YouTube on how to, and then it's for how they use their Mac. So then I have to like think about, well, I wanted to do this. And then I'm like doing Google searches and whatnot. But no, I just answered like a quick survey and it just did it all.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So
you identified a key point though. It's like having it kind of like red team you and like identify your blind spots.
Yeah.
And when you're prompting too, like talk to GPT and just ask it like, how can I make this prompt more efficient? Have it like reverse engineer like what you're trying to do, and then make it package it into like a little prompt, so you get like the same kind of feedback and responses every time. But yeah, things in your life, mindset, and I've told you guys like I kind of like journal in my GPT, and it just it identifies things about me that like I need to work on, and I'm like, okay, cool. Like I'm not that self-aware where I can recognize it, but you have a little thing that just knows everything about you, then, it'll help in
Yeah.
life, business, etc.
Yeah. It's that blind spot thing. And it's in every aspect of our life, right? Personal development, technology, kind of a thing. Because you get so used to using, I probably have uh 80 apps on my phone that I don't use.
Mhm.
I use probably 5, 6, so I should go through and delete them all. But the same thing with my computer, like there's so much stuff that you just use the things that you use because you've been used to using them, and they pretty much help you do 80, 90% of the work that you need to do. But there's so much more capabilities there. And that's what's so great about AI, it challenges you, or it can help you to be able to ask the questions, even asking something like, what are the things that I don't know? I don't know what I don't know. What are the questions that I should be asking to help me know what I don't know? And so this is all part of the shift. And so like cognitive partner, thinking partner. I'm going to do a little plug here for Jonathan Liebert.
Mhm.
His new book is coming out.
Nice.
And it's all about using AI as a cognitive partner, a cognitive thinking partner, and how it can, really help you just expand your horizons, and how you can do that ethically and effectively. So, and maybe we'll have him on the podcast
Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
when his book's ready to go live. But
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I think that's great. I wasn't planning on another hour podcast, but we were there. So,
We just get carried away.
Yeah.
We can't help it.
what are we? Do we have anything planned for next week, or are we just winging it?
We're winging it. It's a
Okay,
surprise.
awesome.
Unless you guys have any suggestions, let us know.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure AI will give us like 20 different things we
Yeah.
can talk about. So be sure and like, subscribe, follow, share. Check us out on Instagram, YouTube, and Spotify. And we are the AI Convergence Podcast, brought to you by Voxe AI. And we'll see you guys in the next one.